autism is on the rise. As you can see, in 1995, the incidence of autism was 1 out of 1,000 kids. In 2016, it rose to 1 out of 54 children. And this is a study from 2018 in the US. The overall ASD, meaning autism, prevalence was 23 per 1,000 children, 1 in 44 children. What's going on? They tell us it's genetic, but do genes really change in just 25 years? Welcome to the Wellness Messiah podcast. I'm your host, Rimon. Why would the microbiome, a bunch of bacteria, yeast, and other microorganisms, would affect the brain development of human babies? Professor Martin Blaser had been researching gut microbiome for 50 years. He explained this connection. I'm quoting him. First, the microbiome produces molecules important in metabolism, which is also brain metabolism. In other words, the metabolic molecules those microbiomes produces also get to the brain, and the brain uses them to grow and develop. Second, the microbiome transfers to the gut chemical and physical messages. This causes the gut to produce molecules of different neurotransmitters that transmit messages in our nervous system. And there is a direct nerve, the vagus nerve, between the gut and the brain. So we have to remember that there is a direct road directly communicating between the gut and the brain. And the gut has a major impact on the communication that goes in the brain. And this communication is really relevant in the brain development, because remember, all development, all growth begins with communication in the body. And now you can see there is a connection, the growth of the brain coming from the gut. And we know who sits in the gut, which is the microbiome. And 80% of serotonin, this is a quote from him, 80% of serotonin comes from the gut. And studies have shown that the gut produces or does not produce serotonin according to the messages they receive from the gut. So again, think about this. 80% of serotonin comes from the gut. This is a tremendous amount for a chemical that has such a major impact on the brain. But not only it makes us feel good, it also has to do with the brain growth. Let me show you in a second. So what do we know about serotonin and brain development? This study showed that, I'm quoting, serotonin acts as a growth factor during embryogenesis. So serotonin in essence helps the brain to grow. Thus, serotonin plays a huge role in the baby's brain development. And 80% of it coming from the gut, where its production influenced by the microbiome. This microbiome also makes vitamins the baby needs. These bacteria, they're virtually producing your baby, they give your baby daily multivitamin that helps the brain to grow. Protecting your baby together, the gut and the microbiome. The gut is the protective fence of the baby's body. The gut protects the baby from the myriad of toxins in our environment. Now, we already know that we are bombarded with toxins all the time, but the gut protects us. The baby needs the gut to protect itself also from those toxins. Which toxins are we talking about? Pesticides, heavy metals, chemicals. Pesticides in our agriculture, they work on the nervous system of insects, and we want them to stay out of the body when we eat the food. Imagine what happens when they enter the body. They target our nervous system as well. So we want to keep them away from our bodies and also the bodies of our children. And we don't want them to go to the brains of the baby, for example. And heavy metals are also potential brain toxins, only if they pass the gut, And our gut is fed by the microbiome. When the gut is not fed, the baby's defense becomes weaker. Many of these toxins can leak inside the baby's body and get inside the brain. The microbiome also protects our babies directly. The good bacteria also make sure that aggressive bugs are kept out, aggressive bacteria, yeast, and they directly eliminate toxins that could damage our baby's brain. Dr. Campbell McBride, who specialized in neurological disorders in babies and children and worked for a long time with autistic children, I'm quoting her. These good microbes have an ability to neutralize these chemicals. In fact, they are the best neutralizer and detoxifying substances on the planet known to us.